girl's house. We also then perform traditional marriages in the house of the girl's mom. If the girl, the mother and the father are living in their residence, they ask permission from the head of the family so that they can contract the marriage in their homes. Hear me. My father doesn't have right to marry for me. It is the head of the family that my father will tell, and they have right to marry for me. So my father only plays a role through the family head. Unfortunately for us, that no man is able to pay the bride price of any daughter traditionally. I never married my wife. Everything that let me teach you this. When a man goes to tell the family, I want to get married because I have found a lady to marry, the first thing they do is that they check if you can afford. Now, the affordability is not usually the amount of money to go and marry the woman, because the things that we use to go and marry the woman is provided by you through your family. Your father is supposed to marry for you. Hello? Eja ene ware mane baba. Enti sika ye de ware no dodo ni fi wo ja ho. Eye japa de o de ma o de kwa aware so. Na dodo no nso wo na o de kọ. Na eja e de ne di asoso akoya awade na ma. Enatam, eja tam, eja mpabwa, enaduku ne enampabwa. Enye ejanum na eto, eno ebane ne to de ma. Kawa ye di obane ho ade abofra be man okọ wine na eto. Say see man bebre me I can't wear fake ring. So I buy from America and send to them. So many errors. As a matter of fact, the type of cloth that they have requested from your family, you don't have to see it until the marriage is over. Most of you after traditional marriages, you've never unwrapped your cloth and sewn them because you know the cloth inside the wrap. You did the wrapping yourself at home. It is an error to wrap your own marriage things and go and give it to the guy's family to bring it back to you. The same way it's an error that the list for marriage is provided by you, the woman. You don't even see the list until you have a daughter who is going to get married from your family. Or your sister is getting married and you see their own. You don't see the list. This is why you can't negotiate for reduction. You see, we've done a lot of errors to ourselves. A lot of errors. We've done a lot of errors to ourselves. A lot of errors. And we believe that the error we have done is modernization. No. They are part of the reasons why the marriages are not able to stand. They are part of the reasons. So the woman is not the one who brings us the list. So my wife didn't give me the list. The list was given to my aunties who went to do the knocking and given the chance 14 days after to come for the list when they have accepted that we marry their daughter. So your first knocking, I said, there's always two knocking. The first knocking is that you go and show them the lady's house without you going, hiding in a place. You say, this is the house. They go and ask. We are sent by so and so head of family to come and ask if this is the house of Mr. So and so. Yes. Now, our son who is in so and so has requested that there's a lady here he wants to get married to. You don't go with your son to go and show. So that my wife's family will not see me on that day. Unfortunately, the daughter that my aunties are discussing, they are not supposed to tell the family they've seen her before, because my wife is not supposed to be known by my family by the standard of the tradition. So they say, we have a lot of daughters in this house. Which of them is your son talking about? So we only identify by name. And it's unfortunate. For example, my wife's house, they have so many Yamle in their house. So when my aunties went to marry and they made a mistake and they called Yamle, they said they have 7 Yamle. Which of the Yamle are we talking about? Then they specifically gave the full name of their daughter and gave the family tree of the daughter and mention the father's name and mention the mother's name. And that is how they accepted them that they are in the right house. So they took the drink and the money and told them, you will hear from us when we speak to our daughter. And then they spoke to their daughter and sent delegation secretly to investigate the son who want to marry. So that is where they talked to their daughter. The family of XYZ sent, they don't bring the girl out to meet my aunties. Hear me. The girl comes to serve them water, but it is assumed that they don't know her. That morning, everybody comes to serve them water. And when you go for knocking and you are giving water, you are supposed to drink. It's a must. You don't drink all. It's not supposed to be served in cups, in bottles. But in our modernization and hygiene we give, you are supposed to open the water. If you are a traditionalist, pour some for the gods. But usually, because they engage you in their sitting rooms, you can't wait to the place. So you first come and drink. And this is how you drink. You know why you do that? I'll explain to you. You can drink all, but it is traditionally wrong to empty the bottle in the presence of your future in-laws if they give you the clearance. Your posture and behavior is important. You are not supposed to be served breakfast. Look, your visit must be early morning in the appearance of the sun. So you don't go and do knocking late afternoon, 3 p.m. No. Otherwise, if the family requests that you come and do it 3 p.m. because they want to meet with some people, that's different. Going to do knocking, you don't need the extended head of family. You need the direct parent of the children, and they will carry the money and the drink to go and announce. And they're also going to announce from the family head that sent you. You don't go and do knocking without knowing the name of the family head. So we have been sent from the house of the Lutrots, Mr. Professor Green Yate, whose son is Alexander Lutrot, has a son whose name is George Casterson Lutrot. You see how the family tree. So your visit by the aunties come with the family tree mentioning to the family that they are going. I am not there. I am supposed to go and show them where the house is. Even if I drive them to the place, I should not be seen. So no man, and now it's painful. I mean, so nasty that people come to do knocking and friends will follow to come and do knocking. The boy comes on. Why? You go to family knocking and they ask, now, it's a question they should ask. They want to see whether you know tradition. So when my aunties went, they asked them, and why is the man who is coming to marry our daughter? And they said, oh, it's not yet time for you to see our son-in-law. They said, wow. And they accepted it because that's the tradition. You don't go with them and say, yes, only this is the boy who wants to come and marry. It's disrespect. That is why until you marry somebody's daughter, never become useful to their family. Don't let the father know who you are. So unfortunately, I never in my life sat in the sitting room of my wife. Never did it. I never ate in their house. They never laid me a table in the presence of my enemies. I was not common in their home. There are times that I have to do something for her by going to drop her at home. I don't enter the house to go and greet the parents. I never did. The siblings knows me. And we didn't have an the first day the mother did the request. The first day the mother saw me. The mother was like, hey, why am I such prominent and big and old and not married? I've not forgotten the statement. And I didn't take it in a bad blood because I have steady tradition. The mother was seriously checking if the daughter is not bringing an old man who is going to have easily prostate cancer to be served with diapers. And I love it. They served me. The mother said he wants to meet me. The father was not part of it. And the mother said he wants to see me behind the scene, not with the father. I never met my father-in-law. So we had a company together before we got married, and the company is still there. The Work Console, the production house of Ginger Honey Chips. My wife was a member, and with other guys who have dropped, we paid them back their percentage. My wife still stays there. Then she was not even my wife, but she was part of it. And I didn't marry her because she was part of Work Console. No. Away from that. So our company bought a car, and when the car was bought, we thought it was that she was the only lady on the block. Other ladies dropped. So the company car was given to her to drive. The day she took the car to her house, her father requested that this car is expensive. Who gave it to you? And said, oh, it's a company that we are running. He said, which people are running the company? The father asked her to bring back the car because he can't pay for the expensive of BMW. We have to explain that it's an official car. And whatever happens to it, the company will take, insurance will pay for it. Because by then, their area, in Accra, you wake up in the morning, your battery is gone, your mirror is gone. And the father was working with a big company. And anytime he brings a Porsche car home, the next morning, if he doesn't sleep in the car, this thing happens. So the father was concerned. That was the first time I heard of the father. And even that, I didn't go. They were not even in a relationship, but I didn't go. I've seen the father from afar. Anytime I'm standing and I see the father's car coming, I hide. Now we don't care. Young boys of today, they sit in the sitting room of the said man they want to marry their daughter, and they don't even care. Some even drink with the father. I never attended any funeral in my wife, then my study mate's family house. I didn't go. At best, the program that I never went to her church for a program. I'm saying these things that I was not practicing anything that was pleasant because I was doing what I know traditionally I'm supposed to do. Don't be known too much. Now, most of you in America, before they marry you, you do video call to your supposed, in quotes, mother-in-law to be. There's nothing like that. And they have a chat with you, ma. Our idea is nice so. And to my ben from me, Bawa Broche, may talk and tell me in summer where they bed them palming to be in bad there. And then they do everything. Some girls buy their ring, their sis cloth from America and send it to Ghana. Hear me. The process of marrying you is not your contribution. The man has their own contribution. The woman have their own contribution. Do you get it? There are times I hear that the in-laws, some in-laws will invite you to come and sit. Me, my father-in-law never had a chance to invite me. As who? They won't invite me, even till today. Even till today. My father-in-law, is difficult for my father-in-law to say he wants to see me. He will pass it through my wife. I want to have some discussion, and that is not even marital discussion. Mind you, I'm a licensed counselor. I work in the hospital. I'm a pastor, gazetted and ordained, carrying power. So there are times that my father-in-law wants a spiritual conversation and will pass it through my wife, and I'll fix time to go and see my father-in-law. It's a protocol. My father-in-law's number is on my phone. I can't remember the last time I was able to call him. Not even my mother-in-law. It's a standard. I'm not saying practice it. It's working for me. Maybe that is why I have a sweet wife. The same applies to my wife as well. Not common. Unfortunately for them, my wife and my sisters, they have common conversation, and that's them. My brother-in-law, they have only one brother. We don't have common conversation because of the age bracket, but he's my brother-in-law. I can't call him and send him. Anytime I want him to do something, I pass through my wife. My wife will talk to the brother and say, this is what my husband wants you to do. Can you do it? He says yes. Then before I get into the chat to go, I follow these standards, and it's working. So traditional marriage is, and these things that we put behind the traditional marriages is to keep the marriage going. We put a lot of the blocks around so that divorce becomes difficult. And look, the investigation that is done before the marriage is contracted is a huge investigation, so that you don't bring 2, 4, 6 families. Now watch it here. My wife's mother and father, and their mother and father. So watch it here. My wife's grandmother is still alive. So from my wife's mother's side, there are 4 people staying before them, so they become 6. The father's side to have the same thing, 6. So when you are dealing with that family, you are dealing with 12 different families 12. And these 12 families are supposed to agree that you can marry their daughter. And everybody's consent is taken just to make sure that you don't disgrace them. This is why when you are going to divorce, it becomes difficult. Because if you have 12 different families, that some have about 300 people, your divorce will affect all of them. So it is not that your father says that we don't divorce in this family. Hear me. You have brought 12 different family heads. And the funny thing is that there are times that my mother-in-law is not a Ghan alone. Her mother is an Akan. Her father is a Ghan. And her father's father is a Ghan. Her father's mother is an Ewe. So if you look at the branches as well, your one marriage you went through has branched into Ewes, branched into Ashantis, and anybody who goes to marry begins to do inter-tribal marriages, and the family is big. And they all come together to accept the marriage. This is why when you want to divorce, you are crashing the head of different families. And so, when you plan to divorce, they find it very difficult to accept. They believe that the process by which you went into the game, if you want to divorce, they have to announce it to all the people. So you can't be divorced and nobody knows in the family. Yeah. And these things were made so that our marriages will last. This is why when you go and do knocking, they collect small money and drink from you. Small money is not like, it's not smaller denominations. And those days, they change it into 1 cedi, 50 per square, and they share it for investigation. You are fully investigated. You don't just come from America and come to say that your son, who was living here with us, has traveled to America and has come back and want to come and marry your daughter. Hear this. It's a good thing to say. But that request cannot be granted until they know who the son is. He left Ghana 15 years ago and is now in America. He is 30 years and want to marry our son, our daughter. We don't just agree because it's in America, but now it is sport. It's sport. Investigations are done seriously to ascertain whether the family you belong to, they pay children's school fees. They are educationally oriented. They have any mental disease. These things are very important. We ignore them. We ignore them. The traditional process of marriage is seriously the best to protect our marriages. I'm telling you. You know, I'm telling you. Now hear me. We don't frown on you impregnating our daughter, but we disgust it. We believe that you can't take our precious jewel, that is a daughter, from us without paying her bride price. Now watch it here. God created the world by forming man from the dust of the earth. And after forming the man, he finished and saw the need of the most precious thing called a woman, who can become a helpmate. And as a woman, see how important you are. God was creating human beings with their hands. But immediately when God saw the need in the life of Adam that he needs a helpmate, God stopped procreation and handed over the idea of creating a human being to women. This is how vulnerable women are. And that is why till I leave this earth, I will never support women empowerment. Because women are very powerful. The only time a human being depends on a human being direct is pregnancy. So God handed over procreation into the hands of women. So now women are creators. Deposit the spermatozoa and they form a human being as God did. So the man carries the sperm that is produced 24 hours a day, but the woman produces one egg in 1 month. Essential people are women. So the family believes that the most important asset to us is what can do what God does. Our daughter. Our daughter is our God. Our daughter is our golden egg. Our daughter is the most precious thing that happened to the family. Even though our daughter is not able to name a child after our family, if the world will go forward, it depends on our daughter. God have deposited something in our daughter. So you can't come and take her lightly. This is why when you impregnate our daughter, whilst you've not paid her bride price, we say you have made foolishness out of us. Even if our daughter gave it to you for free, our daughter doesn't mean, but our daughter has the capacity of continuing the procreation and the handiwork of God. Women, hear this. You are too precious. You are too valuable. You are an asset to the world. And without you, procreation is meaningless. Without you, the continuation of God's purpose for man cannot continue. I carry sperms every day. I am producing sperm every 24 hours. But the mandate of having continuity, and then making sure that the family I belong to is stable cannot be executed without you. Why are you struggling to be a man? Why do you want to become a man? Why do you want to compete with a man? Why are you not looking at yourself as a God in terms of creation? And this is the mentality of the traditional people. That this is what our daughter is to us. And for that matter, you can't take her just like that. So when you take our daughter without paying her bride price, we call you a thief in the Ghana. So the Ghana says, Amo Bojulo. The Fanti says, Wafam. And the Akan says, Wabuyenkwasia. Wow. Maybe you understand. So girls, why do you want to say that I will prove to them that I love him? Let him, if they will agree that we get married, then I'll get pregnant. Hear this. Hear this. You are not punishing the family. You are devaluing yourself. You are This is not to say that when you get pregnant while they've not married you, you are valueless. No, don't get me wrong. I'm explaining why the family will want to take from you an amount of money and drinks for taking our daughter not through the right process during the traditional marriages. So if our daughter has a child with you before marriage, now watch what we do. In the list, we create a first list for you called Amobojulo by the Gans, and the Fantis called Kwasiebuo. So hear this. Nobody can take Kwasiebuo from anybody until you make a decision to marry their daughter. So if you have not attempted to pay the bride price of our daughter, we can't take Kwasiebuo from you. A yenimu is not Kwasiebuo. Once our daughter gets pregnant, you can't, and this is the other thing people don't know. When I impregnate your daughter or anybody's daughter, I cannot go to their family house to tell them that your daughter is pregnant for our son. It is not done. That is a traditional error. And you can be surcharged to pay with goat, sheep, and cow for coming to tell us as if you don't respect us. May Councillor Lutrot na me fi Amsterdam no maba we dey penny for anymore mubaba no ye me prana onyem enti me ba in base e body tell enti me ba say be catch up say me na me nyem no Nah, I am fan to baby. You're very stupid. In my family house, they will pour water on you and sack you out of the house. As a matter of fact, our house will not entertain any man without your family to come and announce if you are not married to our daughter. We understand. It is us. We go and ask for the pregnancy. We see that our daughter is pregnant and we request from our daughter who impregnated you. If our daughter doesn't tell us who impregnated her, we'll keep asking until she delivers. Yeah. When she announces that it is you, Lutrot, who impregnated her, we ask, where is your family house? If you are living with your wife in Trasacco, we will never come there. No traditional family will come to your wife's house because we can't come and seek for your pregnancy from your wife's house. We need your family. Hey, tradition is good, eh? As I study African traditional marriages and other things, it gives me boldness that our tradition is more protective than most of the things we are doing. You see, and these things, don't take them for granted. They have spiritual backings. Yeah, they are spiritual backings. Anytime they carry a girl to the family house and announce that your son here, there is a son, his name given to us is, then a daughter I mentioned, George Lutrot. Which of the George Lutrot? Our house, we have 7 George Lutrot. Hear this. You see the way you go and say you want to marry their daughter and they take you through the process. When they bring anybody, and when they are coming to us for pregnancy, they don't come in the afternoon, they come early morning. And they know who they are coming to. They are coming to Mr. Lutrot, the father of George Lutrot. And you are not supposed to come with fight, but you are supposed to come with a position of deceit, of worry, not anger, but seriousness, that something precious has been taken from you. Somebody has used the back door to enter into your garden. So the family is coming with a certain level of, I want to call it holy anger. Omudi enibri ni ebufuo na eba bebisa. Ba yemfa ntokwamba. Ba yembasi ebesere. Enti omo bana mo nsuo a, omo so mo ayenom. Eba mso yemama kwa ba nsuo ni yaje. Na hade bokọ, ye de anya bokọ mayen. Ye de enibri nenam. Ye ade pa bi a eda ye fie. Ade chen ya no pe ya, ye sori a, ye ba be yi ho adane. Obi anso be bo opron ye no ho ade wo ye fie. Obi amba yo. Na ye bisa se ho adane. Efi a yete, ye no papa, unyam bema. E na wa chiri man nete ha. Nti so obi anyem wo de a, na ye emu ba ko. Ye bisa ne sa, wa bobu ni ti. E na obo abrante e bidin. Yesu ye nim no. Obi anfa nsan ba ye ho. Obi amba yi animu. Obi amba ye ne ho ade. Enti e ma ne papa. E de ebufuo ka se, yendi ye na ye chi. Ne mbebisa abrante ye bo ni. Ye bisa ne so fifi ha. Ye si oye eja amfra enana. Enti ni aba. Ye ba si ye ba bebisa. Se mo ba be ma bi disi ana. Na wa nyim ye baba. Ye baba ho adane ni din no boy. Yo abusuafo ye damase. De di kan ye mama kwa ba biom. Yes, see. Then they use a lot of proverbial statements to cool them down because they are on edge. Why? Their daughter has been taken through the back. Or what they neka. So when they come, they are not, and that is why they can't go to my wife's house. They can't come to me in my wife's house. Because in my wife's house, there's nothing they will do. They are going to meet me direct. And they are not coming to me who impregnated their daughter. They are coming to my family. Yeah. So they come and do this. And when they take with the madaroma, yes, you fear hano. You will member be wa. You ba man so mo kana asem. Oye adwuma na adwunti. On my ana wa ba beda. And omudi abetu ye nim de yesere mo. Ye hu efie amufim. Ye fi Mr. Taylor fie na e wo ho. Teacher Taylor. Teacher Taylor. The opama de pam school atade ma Kwame Nkrumah mba no. Efie mienu na etoso no nsia no ewo kwada so ho na efi abusua na nkasa de yetena se memre da wie bia yempe ne toto ne no a mo aka yate yeko, and they live with their daughter. When they leave, then they invite their son. Judge Lutrot, a family of so and so came and said you have put their daughter in a family way. Please, how true is that? If their son says no, they will go and investigate and take word back to them in Kwada so that their son says he is not the one in charge of the pregnancy. Hear me. They are supposed to respect the protocol by making sure that the family takes the name of their son from their mouth. If their son comes to say yes, then a delegation is sent to the woman's family house, which the guy knows. That is why I told those people that if you are going out with anybody, know their family house. Know their family house because it's needed. My time is up. There are lots we need to learn. There are lots we need to learn. I don't know. I don't know. So don't regret you're married traditionally. Don't. So when these things are done, the family calls, but they go back. When I accept yes, the family goes back to ask. Our son has responded. Yes. Then they ask, is your son married? They say yes. He has a wife in Accra with 4 kids. Then their daughter has already told them that he's a married man. Whatever they will do to their daughter is their own thing because their daughter has allowed a wrongful take. Hear me. A wrongful take doesn't mean that they're going to kill their daughter. No. There's a process that has been thwarted. So the family has the right to be angry because daughters are special. Now hear this. When they come back and see the family and they say, yes, we've accepted. So please, what are the process of clearing the air that we are the father of the unborn child? Then they call it Yebeyi. So the family tells you, for what you have done, XYZ is what we need. So that we tell the family heads that a man has taken our daughter through the wrong way. They need a drink, they need money, they need cloth, because it is said that the pregnancy must be covered. So yajin toma, yajin san, yajisika. That one is to pacify the family. Number 2, because hospital is essential, they create a timetable for you to pay what they call antenatal and going to hospital. You also put a format down, a step down to feed their daughter's pregnancy, not feed their daughter, you feed the pregnancy. You are also to be aware, not the son, but the family should be aware that by proximity, anything that happens to your daughter, they will be held responsible. This conversation goes on. And then finally, they give you the chance. When the child is born, you are announced to. When their daughter is going through labor, they take their daughter to the hospital because you are paying for it. When they give birth to the child, they send a delegation come and tell you, our daughter went into labor and has brought forth a son. We came to announce to you. Now, once they announce to you, because you are responsible, you choose a day to go and name the child. Before the naming, traditionally, you need to come and pacify the delivered woman. You come and say congratulations. And that is the time that they receive things from you, coming to say, thank you for delivering for us a daughter. That one too is not marriage. You give live chicken, you give frozen chicken, you give money for soup, for stew, and then you compensate her, welcome her with a cloth and some drink. Those days, it is believed that we didn't know hospital matters. So when the woman goes to deliver, they need to give her some level of alcohol to kill the sore in the womb and to give her appetite to eat. So they were taking alcohol. Oh no, Dobernet was one of the most expensive drinks they give. And so when he says that, or no one's a no so bad, no time buy, as Uncle Abby Brady, I knew you, I mean, for a mom do bonnet or Mumia, as some fear was buy, they give the business break. I think I've lectured too much and I'm becoming boring to the rest of you. If yes, I can move on. So when all these things are done, traditional dissolution of marriage, I don't even think I can go and do the civil one. Oh God. So this is the process of marriage. So in this time, if I decide to come and marry this girl, the family will add Kwasiebo list to the list. The family will add Amobodulo. So you see 2 lists. Because you have a child with our daughter, we give you a list showing that you came to steal before. So pay